Well, what happened in Cancun is definitely a very optimistic picture. Um, as you know, there are two things in the world which do not have any limits. One is the universe, and the other is a human stupidity. This is what Albert Einstein said. I will add one more thing, that hopes have no limits. For the last 2 decades, the climate negotiators are debating on a number of issues which sometimes sound very repetitive, sometimes they are frustrating, and sometimes they seem endless. But in Cancun, what we saw is a picture much more hopeful, which at least got some kind of a commitment across the canvas of the world. That almost each and every country committed to mitigation of greenhouse gases. Though there are no legally binding agreements, but still we have at least a commitment, and I feel that those kind of commitments give us hope. Well, the negotiations in Cancun have got something which is very useful to take the next steps, and that useful step is what is called as a commitment from all the countries, developed countries and developing countries. When the Montreal Protocol was signed and when it entered into force, we had almost a similar commitment. What is now missing, and probably it will come as the Cancun goes ahead to the next meeting, maybe in South Africa, is start with some good examples where the mitigation actually takes place. Start with examples where adaptation is actually sees some results, and this is what exactly the Montreal did. That Montreal started small, led by examples. People got encouraged. There's a lot of inspiration. People wanted to do more, and this is what are the good lessons from Montreal for Kyoto. Just to give you some of the good examples of how Montreal could be useful, how the Montreal Protocol would be useful for the climate change, is look at the multitude of benefits that Montreal Protocol gave. Today we stand in 2010 N, when we have started realizing that Montreal Protocol is not just about ozone depleting substances. Montreal Protocol is about saving of energy. It's about reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. It is about the health benefits. It is about creating a new green economy. So we are crossing the ozone region and getting into the much wider economy and the development patterns and the development canvas. Well, we have already seen that under the Montreal Protocol, by eliminating the production and the consumption of chlorofluorocarbons, the CFCs, we have derived a major benefit to protect our climate system. The mitigation achieved was much more than what was intended under the Kyoto Protocol during the period of 2008 to 2012. What it means simply is that even if you look at non-CO2 gases, whenever we see greenhouse gases, we always remember carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is only part of the story. We already seen under the Montreal Protocol that by eliminating CFC, which is a non-carbon dioxide gas, we have got the mitigation for the climate change. The same thing is likely to happen when we substitute the remaining HCFC, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, by non-HFC gases. HFC, the hydrofluorocarbon, is one of the 6 gases in the basket of Kyoto Protocol. And it is of course the substitute for HCFCs. But if you adopt that substitute, then probably you are solving one problem but creating another problem of climate system. And hence not adopting HFCs as a substitute. We are likely to gain not only in ozone protection but also in climate mitigation. The HFCs are nearly 1400 to 1500 times more powerful than a carbon dioxide. And there are other non-CO2 gases, for example the PFCs, SF6, methane, and these are the gases where we can have very quick results. Those are the low-hanging fruits. So while we keep on debating on carbon dioxide, which seems to be a long debate of reducing its emissions, probably we can get a very quick results from HFCs emission reductions, and also the methane emission reductions, and SF6 and PFCs emission reductions. The advantage of getting some quick result is that the world can get inspired, saying that something is possible. Up till now, we have seen that though in 1992 we started the climate treaty, we have not really achieved any mitigation. It's very terrifying. It is a catastrophic that 2 decades of negotiations have not resulted into any GHG mitigation. So we need some inspiring examples so that it can trigger a larger, intensified actions, and HFC reduction can give that. What I feel is today the world community should take benefit of multilateral negotiating process and avoid a global catastrophe. Multilateral process of negotiating in order to prevent global catastrophe is one of the greatest inventions of United Nations system. And my wish for protecting the earth is to take a maximum benefit of this multilateral negotiating process, utilize United Nations platform to negotiate to prevent global catastrophe, because we have only one earth.